nothing is quite as cool as seeing a driver drop the hammer and burn out their back tires till the rubber explodes into flames. Flaming burnouts are all over the movies and the internet, and they're the stuff of hot rod legend. The question is, can it really be done, or is it just a con trick? Well, car science is gonna find out.
Can a car really set its own tires on fire? Warning, do not try this at home. First, we need to know what tires are actually made of. A tire is made of rubber and steel and is designed to withstand friction and load. Setting one on fire would require prolonged exposure to extreme temperatures. To get to the bottom line on burnout fires, we talked to an expert.
In order for something to combust, you have to have a fuel and an oxidizer. If you're talking about trying to burn tires, the tire would have to contain enough materials that could serve as the fuel.
So how do we introduce extreme heat to a tire? There are several methods, and they all involve putting the pedal to the metal. And flooring the gas is Stunt Driver XXX. He's got 20 years of experience shredding tires until they beg for mercy. And he's gonna pilot this. A Camaro with a modified 350 mil churning out a ferocious 450 horsepower. And our thermal imager will pick up every blazing frame. For the first attempt to get our tires blazing, we're trying an old-fashioned rubber glaze classic, the donut. Our Camaro should raise some serious smoke and hopefully raise the temperature of the tires to their flash point. 3, 2, 1, smoke 'em! The rear tires get up to 255 degrees. That's hot enough to ignite gasoline. But apparently not hot enough to ignite the rubber. Where there's smoke, there's no fire. Strike one.
The motion of the tire will allow airflow to be moving around the tires. That airflow will pull away the heat that's being generated by the friction between the tires and the ground.
So, a donut may look sweet, but we need the heat to focus in one place. Time for a straight-up burnout. If this doesn't get a blaze going, nothing will. 3, 2, 1, ignition! With this stationary burnout, the tires reach 527 degrees. So hot that if it touched a piece of paper, it would burst into flames. And it's also hot enough to do something else. Melt rubber.
In a burnout scenario, the tires would get warm and they would soften. And at some point, you would have particles essentially starting to break off from the tires.
So, simply using high horsepower, spinning rubber, and asphalt doesn't give you the recipe for a tire flame. But we've all seen flaming tires in the movies, so how do they really do it?
They're using a fuel source like gasoline fuel. That's what they're really igniting.
In other words, it's a trick, guys. And here's how they do it. First, you install a fuel line that sprays the tires with gasoline. Second, add a flame that ignites the gasoline. And third, do a badass burnout, and it should be the perfect recipe. 3, 2, 1. Slam that hammer down. And finally, once your tires are up to speed, hit the button, spray the fuel, and get out the marshmallows. And the gasoline burns hot enough to get the tires blazing. You might be wondering why these flaming tires aren't at risk of igniting the fuel line. They are. That's why we added a fuel cell in case the car catches fire. So, can a car set its own tires on fire? Yes, but only if you install a fuel line that sprays the gasoline, add a flame that ignites the gasoline, and then put the pedal to the metal and burn rubber.